Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to speak to those moments in life when you feel exhausted, worn out, and on the verge of giving up. There are times when everything seems to be against you, when the weight of the world feels unbearable, and when your dreams feel just out of reach. It is in these moments that you might question yourself, your abilities, and even your purpose. You might wonder if all your effort has been in vain, or if you are simply not strong enough to continue. I want you to know, first and foremost, that these feelings are not signs of weakness. They are signs that you are human. They are signals that you are living, that you are trying, that you are daring to pursue something meaningful. Feeling like giving up is not a flaw. It is a part of the journey that every single person at some point experiences. Think about it for a moment. Every great achievement, every innovation, every story of triumph was preceded by struggle. Every successful person you admire has faced moments when they felt completely defeated. They have stared at obstacles that seemed insurmountable, failures that seemed permanent, and criticism that felt unbearable. They have experienced sleepless nights, moments of doubt, and times when the path forward seemed unclear. What separates those who ultimately succeed from those who give up is not the absence of struggle, but the willingness to acknowledge it, to confront it, and to keep moving forward despite it. Acknowledging struggle does not mean wallowing in it or letting it define you. It means recognizing that you are facing a challenge, accepting that it is difficult, and giving yourself permission to feel. It is okay to feel tired. It is okay to feel discouraged. It is okay to admit that this is hard. Life does not demand perfection from you. It demands persistence. It demands that you face your reality with honesty, courage, and determination. When you acknowledge your struggle, you strip it of its power to paralyze you. You recognize it for what it is: a temporary obstacle, a test of your resolve, and a natural part of growth. We often believe that others have it easier, that they move through life without facing the same hardships we do. But that is rarely true. Everyone carries their own battles, many of which are invisible to the outside world. Comparing your journey to someone else's highlight reel only leads to frustration and self-doubt. Instead, focus on your own path, on your own challenges, and on your own progress. Acknowledging your struggle means giving yourself the grace to see your efforts, no matter how small, and the courage to keep going. It is about honoring the fight you are putting in every single day, even when the results are not immediately visible. Struggle has a way of teaching us lessons that comfort and ease never could. It teaches patience, resilience, creativity, and humility. It pushes us to discover inner resources we never knew we had. When you acknowledge your struggle, you also acknowledge the strength that comes from facing it. Every time you push through doubt, fear, or exhaustion, you are building muscles of perseverance that no one can take away. Every setback you encounter, every mistake you make, and every challenge you face becomes a stepping stone toward a stronger, wiser, and more capable version of yourself. Think about the times in your own life when you have struggled. Remember a moment when everything seemed impossible, yet somehow you made it through. Maybe it was a difficult exam, a personal loss, a financial setback, or a professional failure. At the time, it may have felt like the end of the road. But looking back, you realize that those moments shaped you, taught you, and prepared you for what came next. They are proof that struggle is not the enemy. It is a companion on the road to success, and acknowledging it is the first step in harnessing its power. When you feel like giving up, I want you to pause and breathe. Look honestly at your situation. Recognize the difficulty. Say to yourself, "Yes, this is hard, but I am here. I am trying. I am not defeated." This simple act of acknowledgement changes your mindset. It shifts your focus from frustration to awareness, from despair to clarity, and from helplessness to empowerment. It reminds you that the struggle is real, but so is your strength. It reminds you that every human being faces obstacles, yet some choose to rise above them. You have the same capacity to rise. Acknowledging struggle also means seeking support when needed. You do not have to face everything alone. Friends, family, mentors, and even strangers who have walked similar paths can offer perspective, guidance, and encouragement. Sharing your struggle does not make you weak, it makes you human. It allows you to release some of the burden and gain clarity, inspiration, and renewed energy to keep moving forward. The moment you acknowledge your struggle is the moment you take back control. It is the moment you stop letting doubt, fear, or frustration dictate your actions. It is the moment you decide that you are stronger than the obstacles before you. Life will continue to test you. Challenges will continue to arise. But every time you face them with honesty, courage, and determination, you grow. You become more resilient. You become more capable. You become someone who can endure the storms and continue moving toward your dreams. So, the next time you feel like giving up, remember that struggle is not a sign that you are failing. It is a sign that you are alive, that you are pushing, and that you are growing. Look your challenge in the eye, acknowledge it, and take a step forward, however small it may be. Because every step you take in the face of struggle is a victory in itself, and it is in these moments, when you refuse to give up, that your true strength is revealed. I want to talk to you today about a power that is far greater than most of us realize, a power that can turn our darkest moments into opportunities, our failures into lessons, and our challenges into stepping stones. That power is the power of perspective. Often, when we feel like giving up, it is not the difficulty of the situation itself that overwhelms us. It is the way we are looking at it. Our mind has a way of magnifying problems, making obstacles appear larger than they are, and convincing us that there is no way forward. But the truth is, perspective can change everything. How we see our situation often determines how we respond to it, and ultimately, what we achieve. Perspective is about seeing beyond the immediate pain, frustration, or disappointment. It is about zooming out and understanding that life is a journey filled with peaks and valleys, challenges and triumphs. When you feel like giving up, it is easy to focus only on what is wrong, to dwell on the failures, and to let your mind be consumed by what ifs and I can't. But when you shift your perspective, you begin to see that every struggle has a lesson. Every setback carries a hidden opportunity, and every obstacle holds a chance for growth. The power of perspective allows you to step back, breathe, and remind yourself that the situation is temporary, and your ability to overcome it is far greater than you realize. Think about some of the most successful people in the world. None of them achieved greatness without encountering failures, rejection, and criticism. What set them apart was not that they were free from challenges, it was that they chose to see their challenges differently. They viewed setbacks as feedback, mistakes as learning opportunities, and obstacles as invitations to innovate. When you adopt this mindset, the things that once felt like insurmountable walls transform into puzzles waiting to be solved. Perspective turns fear into curiosity, frustration into determination, and despair into motivation. Perspective is also about controlling the narrative in your mind. You can choose to see a failure as a reflection of your inadequacy, or you can choose to see it as a stepping stone toward improvement. You can allow a criticism to diminish your confidence, or you can use it as a mirror to understand where you can grow. The power lies in your choice. Every event in life can be interpreted in multiple ways. Your mindset determines whether an experience becomes a burden or a blessing. And when you consciously choose to view challenges with a constructive perspective, you take away the power of doubt and fear to control your actions. Sometimes, the smallest shift in perspective can create the biggest change. Imagine standing at the base of a mountain, looking up at its towering peak. To many, it seems impossible to climb, overwhelming and intimidating. But if you shift your perspective, you can break the climb into smaller steps, focus on the path directly in front of you, and recognize the progress you are making with each step. Life's challenges are the same. They may feel massive when you look at them as a whole, but when you adjust your perspective, you can see the steps forward, the lessons within the struggle, and the progress you are making. Even if it is not immediately visible, perspective also allows us to find hope in hopeless situations. When everything seems to be going wrong, it is easy to believe that there is no way forward. But perspective allows you to see that the end of one chapter is often the beginning of another. It allows you to recognize that what feels like failure may actually be redirection, guiding you toward a better opportunity, a stronger version of yourself, or a path you never considered. By shifting your perspective, you begin to see that the very challenges that feel unbearable today may be the foundation for your greatest achievements tomorrow. It is important to remember that perspective is not about denying reality. It is not about pretending that challenges do not exist or that pain is not real. It is about choosing how you respond to reality. You cannot control every circumstance, but you can control how you interpret it and how you let it influence your actions. You can choose to focus on what is lost, or you can choose to focus on what can still be gained. You can let setbacks define you, or you can let them refine you. Perspective gives you the power to take control of your story, even when the circumstances seem uncontrollable. When you feel like giving up, I urge you to pause and ask yourself a simple question: how else can I look at this? Shift your focus from what is stopping you to what is possible. Shift your attention from fear to opportunity. Shift your thinking from limitation to creativity. Every time you consciously adjust your perspective, you reclaim your power. You remind yourself that obstacles are temporary, challenges are surmountable, and your ability to grow is limitless. Perspective does not remove difficulty, but it transforms it. It allows you to face your struggles with clarity, courage, and determination, knowing that every setback is not the end, but a part of the journey towards something greater. I want to remind you of a truth that is often forgotten in the hardest moments. You are not alone, and struggle is not the end of the road. One of the most powerful ways to inspire ourselves when we feel like giving up is to look at the stories of those who refuse to quit, no matter how impossible their situations seemed. History, both recent and distant, is filled with individuals who faced extraordinary challenges, moments of despair, and setbacks that would have stopped most people. Yet they persevered, they continued, and in doing so, they achieved greatness. These stories are not just tales from the past, they are mirrors that show us what is possible when we refuse to give up. Consider the story of Thomas Edison, the man who gave the world the light bulb. Before his success, he experienced thousands of failures in his experiments. When asked about his repeated failures, he did not see them as defeats. He famously said that he had not failed thousands of times, but rather had discovered thousands of ways that would not work. Imagine if he had given up on the first try, or the 100th try, or even the 1000th. The world would still be in darkness, literally. Edison's story reminds us that persistence is the bridge between struggle and achievement. Success is rarely instant. It is built through resilience, determination, and a refusal to quit, even when the path seems impossible. And it is not just historical figures who offer lessons in perseverance. Everyday people, in their own lives, show us what it means to keep moving forward. There are mothers and fathers who work multiple jobs to provide for their families, students who study late into the night despite exhaustion, and individuals who recover from illness or loss to rebuild their lives stronger than before. Their stories may not be in textbooks or on television screens, but they are living proof that perseverance is not about fame or recognition. It is about refusing to give up, even when life seems unfair, exhausting, or overwhelming. Think of J.K. Rowling, who faced rejection after rejection from publishers before finally seeing her Harry Potter series in print. She was a single mother, struggling to make ends meet, and yet she refused to stop writing. Every no she received could have been a reason to quit, but instead, she used them as fuel to keep going. Today, her books have inspired millions, and her story reminds us that what feels like the end of the road can often be the very moment before a breakthrough. Perseverance transforms struggle into opportunity, and stories like hers show us that no matter how difficult life becomes, we are capable of rising above it. There are also stories from the world of sports that teach us the same lesson. Michael Jordan, widely regarded as one of the greatest basketball players of all time, was cut from his high school basketball team. Imagine the disappointment, the shame, the urge to give up. But he did not quit. He trained harder, practiced longer, and pushed himself beyond what he thought was possible. His setbacks became stepping stones, and his determination transformed him into a legend. The lesson is clear. No matter how many times you fail, no matter how many doors are closed, persistence and perseverance can open the doors that seem locked forever. What these stories teach us is that struggle is not a signal to stop. It is a signal to keep going. Life will challenge you, and at times it may even seem cruel. You may face rejection, loss, failure, or disappointment. You may feel exhausted, hopeless, and ready to surrender. But it is in these moments that perseverance matters most. It is easy to keep going when everything is going well, when success comes effortlessly, and when the path is clear. The real test is continuing when every fiber of your being tells you to quit, when obstacles tower over you, and when failure seems inevitable. Stories of perseverance also remind us that progress is rarely linear. Those who succeed do not do so in a straight line. They stumble, they fall, they face detours, and yet they continue. Life is not about avoiding failure, it is about refusing to be defeated by it. Every obstacle is an opportunity to learn, every setback is a chance to grow, and every challenge is a moment to prove to yourself that you are stronger than you realize. When you feel like giving up, remember that the people you admire, the pioneers, innovators, and heroes of history felt the same doubts, the same fatigue, and the same fear. What set them apart was not their lack of struggle, but their refusal to quit in spite of it. Even the smallest acts of perseverance matter. Sometimes we think that only grand achievements count, but every effort to keep going, every step forward, every choice to try again, is part of a larger story of success. It is in these moments that character is built, strength is forged, and the foundation for future triumph is laid. Every story of perseverance starts with a decision, the decision to face fear, to embrace struggle, and to continue moving forward when giving up seems like the easiest option. Ladies and gentlemen, when you feel like giving up, I urge you to remember these stories. Let them remind you that struggle is temporary, setbacks are not permanent, and success is often just around the corner. Draw inspiration from those who refuse to quit, and let their courage light your path. Know that your story can also become one of perseverance, a story that others will one day look to for hope and inspiration. No matter how difficult the journey, no matter how many times you stumble, remember that the decision to keep going, to push forward, and to never give up is the greatest gift you can give yourself. Your own story of perseverance may be just beginning, and the world is waiting to witness the triumph that comes from refusing to quit. I want you to take a moment and think about what keeps you going in your hardest moments. When life feels heavy, when challenges seem impossible, and when every instinct inside you is telling you to give up, what is it that pushes you forward? That power, that force that refuses to surrender, is your inner strength. It is a force that exists within each and every one of us, waiting to be discovered, nurtured, and unleashed. The remarkable thing about inner strength is that it does not depend on circumstances, external validation, or luck. It is always there. It is a quiet power that grows with every obstacle you face and every time you refuse to quit. Inner strength is not something you are born with fully formed. It is developed through experience, through struggle, and through the conscious choice to rise each time you fall. It is forged in the fire of adversity and shaped by your decisions in the face of difficulty. Many people underestimate their own resilience because they have not yet been tested by life's challenges. They do not realize that strength is not about never feeling fear, doubt, or fatigue. It is about continuing despite those feelings. It is about showing up even when you do not feel ready, taking action even when the outcome is uncertain, and believing in yourself even when the world doubts you. Think about times in your own life when you were pushed to the edge, when the weight of responsibility, disappointment, or failure seemed unbearable. And yet, somehow, you found a way to take the next step. That is inner strength. That is the part of you that refuses to let circumstances define you. It is the part of you that says, I may be tired, I may be scared, but I will keep moving forward. Every small act of courage, every choice to persist, every moment when you rise after falling is a demonstration of your inner power. You may not always recognize it, but it is there, quietly shaping your path and enabling you to endure. Inner strength is also about trusting yourself. It is about having confidence in your ability to navigate challenges, even when the road is unclear. Life will always present situations that are beyond your control, people who will doubt you, and obstacles that seem impossible to overcome. In those moments, your inner strength becomes your guiding compass. It reminds you that no matter how chaotic life may seem, you have the capacity to face it, adapt, and continue. It is the voice inside you that whispers, you are capable, you are resilient, you are not defeated. Many people look outward for strength, waiting for encouragement from others, for perfect conditions, or for validation that they are on the right path. But true strength is inward. It is the knowledge that you have survived every hardship that has come before, that you have overcome every challenge that life has placed in your path, and that you have the power to face whatever comes next. External circumstances may change, people may leave, and situations may fail to go as planned, but your inner strength remains constant. It is the foundation on which you can build your resilience, your courage, and your success. Consider the moments when you feel like giving up. Perhaps it is a personal goal that seems unattainable, a dream that feels just out of reach, or a setback that has shaken your confidence. It is in these moments that you must tap into your inner strength. Remind yourself that strength is not measured by what is easy, but by what you endure. Remind yourself that every step you take, no matter how small, is proof of your courage. Remind yourself that the power to overcome is not outside of you. It is already inside you, waiting to be claimed. Inner strength also grows through reflection and self-awareness. When you take time to recognize your accomplishments, your resilience, and your capacity to endure, you reinforce the belief that you are stronger than you think. Each time you face fear, each time you push through doubt, and each time you refuse to surrender, your inner strength expands. It becomes a muscle, one that can carry you through even the most difficult periods of your life. The more you recognize and trust this strength, the more unstoppable you become. The beauty of inner strength is that it is not just about enduring, it is about thriving. It allows you to face challenges with clarity and courage, to make decisions with confidence, and to pursue your dreams with determination. It gives you the ability to stay focused when distractions arise, to maintain hope when circumstances are bleak, and to keep moving forward when giving up seems like the easiest choice. Inner strength transforms fear into action, doubt into determination, and struggle into growth. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to leave you with this thought. The moment you feel like giving up is the very moment when your inner strength is being called upon. It is in these moments that you discover how powerful you really are. It is when you refuse to surrender that you realize your potential is far greater than you ever imagined. Every challenge you face, every obstacle you overcome, and every time you rise after falling is proof that strength is not something you must seek outside yourself. It is already within you. Trust it, embrace it, and let it guide you. Because when you connect with your inner strength, there is no challenge too great, no setback too severe, and no dream too distant to achieve.